Welcome back, shop rats. Today, here in the shop, we are back on the 26 Oakland. Dad's going to be here soon. We're going to come up with a game plan to figure out what we're going to do. Let's watch the show intro. We'll see you in about 30 seconds. I'm Mike, and this is My Car Shop.
Working out of a 100-year-old refurbished barn, bringing 35 years of experience to projects considered beyond repair. Vision, creativity, and problem solving are essential tools in this place. Watch as we transform junk into polished metal miracles. This is My Car's Shop.
So I think the thing that makes the most sense is, I think we've got most of the engine work done. We've got a little addition work to do. We can do that with the hood on later. So let's work towards getting the hood on, getting the crossbar on, getting the radiator bolted down properly the way it should be. You see anything I'm missing and all that? No, I don't think so. All right, yeah, I think we're ready for that. You know, this radiator's been just kind of on there, but not really bolted down. So we need to make a couple rubber pads to put on the bottom and just get it so it's a little more rigid. So
there was no cushioning of any sort.
There's rubber, an old piece of tire basically on the top. It's pretty stiff, but I think we'll be all right using that. But there's nothing on the bottom, so we'll put a couple of washers and some rubber pads on the bottom. So the radiator is got rubber on both sides.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Well, let's get that done then.
All right.
Here's a cut that out of a piece of tire. What do you think?
Yeah, it's flexible. This was one of the Oakland tires, right?
Right. Yep. We're recycling Oakland parts.
Repurpose.
Yeah, it's got a little flexibility, so we'll drill a hole in that and put a steel washer. And the other thing is those carriage bolts are a little rusty and worn, so hopefully we can push this up on there and it will help hold the bolt down so we can tighten it down.
Okay.
They're kind of a pain in the butt to get to, but I think if they're held down, they'll be okay. There's no way to put that I can see, there's no way to put anything on top to hold the bolt down so we can bolt it down. So it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. So.
Size isn't real critical.
As long as that's just a little bit resistance fit.
Okay.
Are you talking about the hole on this?
No,
The size of that?
Piece,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's plenty of room down there. So.
Oh.
Grab it on top. There. Just want to split it apart. Let your side hang down. Go back and that right there. Didn't catch it. Okay. Yeah, I think we'll make it. Make sure your hood is going down where it belongs. What do we do? Put it on backwards? Nope.
That's is in the right way.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out why the hood isn't right.
Where's the headlight wire supposed to run?
It's supposed to be that little hole in the radiator shroud. We'll have to put that in there later. It's already pounded it out, but you can see how
Pushed out.
it's got a big dent in it.
Wow.
That'll be a job for me someday.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you set garbage all over the car for 75 years. Okay, so let's get that other mount cut out of the tire and do the same thing on this side. That seemed to work pretty good, so we'll have to open the hood up so you can reach in, but
Yeah.
oh, it looks weird to see the hood back on it.
Yeah.
Could use a saber saw now we got a hole in it.
Yeah.
You got that tire?
Burning rubber.
Yes, first time the Oakland tires have ever smoked like that. It's gonna be nice because any other rubber pieces we need now, we've got a big hole, we can take a saber saw or whatever.
Yeah.
And I probably would have used like a saber saw or something, but I wasn't sure if it had metal cords in it, so this
Oh.
doesn't, but. Our hood alignment's pretty good. The front of the radiator looks like it's straight on this side. Is it straight on that side as far as the cap? Pretty much tell if you clamp it down.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's pretty close. It's maybe a 16 wide.
So it's fine.
Mine.
Yep, so the front looks good, and this side is real good. The back is like this, and that's pretty normal on a car of this vintage because the bulk of the weight of the motor, there's a mount in the front, but the transmission and motor both mount right here, and these frames over time sag.
Yeah, it's a little wider.
So like what I did on my Model A, rather than straighten the frame, was I loosened the body mounts and just put a shim under the front of the cab and lifted up about half of an inch, and it took care of that.
Oh,
Because mine was not much worse than this. I'm not gonna mess with it on this one, but
yeah.
I painted the Model A and it was almost perfect, and so it bugged me that that line was crooked. So I just raised the front of the cab a little bit, and it was good. So.
But maybe as it's getting closer to that bracket, it's going to interfere now. I don't know. Helps if I shoot the camera at what you're doing instead of looking at what you're doing and not paying attention. Have to tighten this a little bit on this side, so why don't you do that? So, because otherwise, if you're going to suck the top of the radiator in, and
Oh, yeah, okay.
so we're going to suck the top of the radiator in, and then the hood won't line up. So, just get it so it butts out against that. And it's we're using metric wrenches. I don't know why the standard wrenches won't fit these nuts and bolts. Same thing underneath. We'd use an 18 millimeter instead of a, what was it, 11/16.
Guys, I'm gonna go ahead and put the light bar back on. The screws that were in there were basically stove bolts. They were not right, so we're just putting new bolts and nuts in there. Our contribution to the project here. They were by far not the right thing, so. Looks like you're too far to the driver's side. I think actually you took this off when we took the car apart, if I remember.
Yes, I did.
Can we just cut it apart a little bit, or
Radiator a little far forward.
maybe?
That's quite a bit of space in there.
Let's take a peek. The thing I'm looking forward to the most on this car is a nice sunny day, taking it outside and giving it a bath.
Yes. 70+ years is a long time to go without a valve.
Yep. You may just have to get a little bit persuasive with it. Yeah. Pin to stick through there and there you go. I mean, all that knocking is gone. Okay. Yep. Feel that shifter now that everything's warm too. Feel how it moves. So what I was saying, while he's doing that, is most of the time when we started, it's been like 20 degrees in here, and so the pistons were rattling in the bore. When it's warm in here and the engine's warm, all that rattling has gone away. So that's pretty normal, especially on an engine this old. See how much smoother it is when it was warm? Before it was just really tough. Start it up if you like. Or start it. Just make sure it's either clutch in or out of gear. Clutch in, starts on here. Make sure that you see it. And then just step your heel and start.
Pardon?
Go ahead. Chris's wife, Colleen, donated that for the charity. So, there you go, Colleen. Safety third. So we're getting ready to put the spare tire on the rim because we hadn't done that yet. But just a little bit of news. Just, you know, this is a month from now. You guys are seeing this, but just got my my approval from YouTube that the partner program is approved, and I am officially a YouTube partner now. So woohoo!
Yeah.
That's been a long road coming. So it's going to be old news by the time you see this, but this is when it actually happened. So we're over here. On to important things. We're getting ready to put the last tire on. I'm going to have Dad go ahead and do this so that he knows how to change these on the side of the road when he has a blowout. Gulp. Well, you've taken them apart, so we'll walk through this process for the 5th time, and we'll be good to go.
This on a lot of bicycles.
Basically like doing a bicycle, only bigger.
Yeah. No, it's gonna go. No, it's gotta go in here first.
Yep. I mean, we need to put a little more air in it, but it's a start. So. Okay, I'd grab the blow gun and just blow it up a little bit so that if it's twisted, all the twists come out.
Okay.
It's right here. Wished I had the other one with the rubber tip, but I don't, so. There we go. And unfortunately, these aren't quick catches like my other one was, so it doesn't just pop in. Yep, okay, just make sure it's not twisted anywhere. Looks good. Okay. So then we'll start over here. Put the valve, move the tire up so the valve core, after it drops on there, then we'll get the valve core in. But that's the place to start. So I'll probably have to give you a hand with it. You're not only going to release it, but you're going to press the rim back apart. So I would bring it out so it's loose, and then you're going to have to rotate the tool to push over here more so it'll stretch that rim back in place. Does that make sense? So
Say again?
Release the tool so the rim comes back out as much as possible.
Yeah.
Then you're going to have to rotate the tool to push probably right here.
Okay.
So that pushes that rim back in place.
So we're going back the other way.
Yep. Okay, yep, now that it's loose, just see if you can spin the tool over about here. That's probably a good see, because then you're going to start spreading this rim apart.
It's going to push. Oops. It's going to push on it.
Yep, you're going to want to crank it down a little bit more so your legs are more aligned. Otherwise they'll slip.
Okay, so it's pushing.
Right, yeah, so closer together is better.
Like so.
Yeah, it might work. It's going to be close. Yep, you're good. So you were doing the right thing. You want to push. So you're tightening, you're pulling right now. You want to push.
And pull it?
Yep. I think. Maybe I'm wrong. You know better than me. You're watching the threads. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. From over there. Yep, you're right. Sorry.
That's okay.
Good teacher, because I make the student doubt himself.
Oh, the pressure now is pushing against
Correct,
this, so
yeah.
it isn't all that important.
Exactly. They won't stay. Yep.
Hooks be up.
So the main thing is, are you pushing right so that this is, you see how it's doing that now? So this may be a little far over this way, but we'll try it. Nope, you're good. You're good. You got another foot, right? Hmm? You got another foot, right?
What?
Yeah, didn't that fall
Yeah.
off? Yeah, probably we're a little bit far. There you go. Yep, perfect. All you gotta do is put the cotter pin in.
Oh,
It's not blown up, so it should move around just fine.
okay.
Do we need a new one? Is that one coming
Right
back
under
up?
the tire, of course.
Yeah. Do we need a new one, or is that one okay?
That's close, I'd say.
All right, that's fine. Okay. But it doesn't need to go all the way through as long as it spreads apart. So we'll get pliers and we're good. Okay, Dad successfully mounted the tire and everything went good. And it's back on the car. So we just have to be careful when we come back here because the jack is here, that we don't get too far. So probably rule of thumb here will be we'll get the car close and then just push it back. That way we're not smashing into this, and I'll find someplace else to squirrel this away once the snowblower is out of here and winter's over, but for now. Well, that's some good progress. We got the front end of the car all put together. We got the spare tire on. That's as far as we're going today. Today was a session of just whetting our appetite for what comes next. Dad and I've made the game plan for our next session, what we're going to do.
And we're even making rumblings about maybe trying to get this car licensed and be able to putz around. We got to replace all the glass before we can legally drive it. I think we can stretch that a little bit locally here just to get some miles on it, because we got to sort out a lot of bugs. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on for a car that's been parked for 75 years. We need to start that process soon. So that's what's coming next. So we'll hopefully get this on the road in the next month, maybe. We've got to get the wheel off the backside on that side so that we can get that wheel sanded down and varnished. This one is loose, of course, and we got to get that one, so that's coming in the next episode. We'll be working on that wheel, and I'll be building the tool to take the one off on the other side. So that's going to do it for this episode. Hope you've enjoyed it. It's been good to be back on the Oakland. It's good to have Dad back home again. And if you liked this, please smash the like button, drop a comment down below. We'd appreciate that. We're on the Face thing. Instagram loves us, /mycarshop. And one more thing.
Rock!